Hello, everyone. How much should you actually have saved by now? And what does it take to be wealthier than 90% of people your age in the Philippines? These are just some of the 8 insane money statistics I'm covering in this video that most people don't want to hear, especially the fourth one, because that one might keep you up at night. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where you stand financially in the Filipino landscape and, more importantly, what you can do to get ahead of the curve. Let's start with number 8. What is the average income in the Philippines? Now, if you look at the broad statistics for 2024 and 2025, the average gross salary in the Philippines is often cited around 21,000 pesos per month. This sounds modest, but for the average Pinoy, even this feels like a stretch. Why? Because averages are misleading. In the world of statistics, we have a skew. Think of it this way. If a BPO entry-level worker earning 18,000 pesos and one of the C siblings from SM walk into the same elevator, the average income in that elevator is suddenly hundreds of millions of pesos. Does that represent the worker? Not at all. That's why we need to look at the median income. In the Philippines, the median monthly income for many workers, especially in the provinces, actually hovers closer to 13,000 pesos to 16,000 pesos a month. If you earn more than 25,000 pesos a month, you are already earning more than half of the working population in the country. If you hit the 50,000 peso mark, you are entering the upper middle class bracket. But here's the kicker. While income is the gasoline for your wealth, it's not the most important. What matters is what stays in your pocket after the gastos. How much does the average Filipino household spend? In 2026, the cost of living has skyrocketed. For a single person living in a central business district, like Makati or BGC, a realistic monthly budget is now between 40,000 pesos to 60,000 pesos a month. Look at where the money goes. The three biggest killers of the Filipino budget are housing, electricity, which are some of the highest rates in Asia, and uniquely for us, extended family obligations. In Western countries, people worry about lifestyle creep. In the Philippines, we have family creep. Whether it's the handaan for a fiesta, helping a cousin with tuition, or the monthly allowance for parents, these cultural expectations often act as a hidden 20% tax on your wealth. This is the sandwich generation trap, where you are stuck paying for your children's future and your parents' past at the same time. According to recent surveys, nearly 78% of Filipino workers report living paycheck to paycheck because of these shared responsibilities. This next stat is the most telling. According to the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, the gross domestic savings rate in the Philippines is roughly 5.4%. Compare that to our neighbors, Vietnam and Thailand. Often see rates between 25% and 30%. Why the gap? It's not just lower wages, it's a culture of instant gratification. We see this in the massive budol culture on TikTok and Shopee. Let's look at two friends, June and Mike, both earning 40,000 pesos a month. June is a master of tipid. He saves 20% of his income, or 8,000 pesos, but leaves it in a regular savings account. Mike earns 15% returns on a small 1,000 peso investment, but spends the rest on his car and latest iPhone. After 5 years, June is the one with the real power. In the Philippines, your savings rate, how much you keep, matters infinitely more than your investment returns. Until you hit your first 500,000 pesos, you cannot invest your way out of a bad spending habit. This is the stat that might keep you up. Only about 1 in 4 Filipinos have enough cash on hand to cover an emergency worth 50,000 pesos without borrowing. Think about the implications. If your laptop breaks, your tool for work, or if a family member gets sick, most Filipinos have to turn to 5-6 lenders, high interest credit cards, or pawn shops. This is the poverty trap. When you borrow to survive, you pay back with interest, meaning you work for the lender, not yourself. Your number one financial priority isn't buying stocks, it is building a peace of mind fund. I recommend keeping at least 3 to 6 months of essential expenses in a high yield digital bank like Maya, GoTime, or CBank. These banks currently offer around 4 to 6% in interest, which is 100x higher than traditional big banks. Let's get personal. How much is actually sitting in Filipino bank accounts? The median balance for a Filipino under 35 is estimated to be less than 15,000 pesos. Does that feel low? It should. It shows that as we get older, we aren't necessarily getting richer. We're just managing larger amounts of debt. The biggest predictor of wealth in the Philippines isn't age, it's financial inclusion. In 2025, only 50% of Filipino adults owned a formal financial account. If you have a bank account and use digital tools for budgeting, you are already light years ahead of the unbanked population who lose money to cash leakages and lack of interest. This is a ticking time bomb. Nearly 80% of Filipinos reach retirement age with zero formal savings outside of SSS or GSIS. Let's do the math on the Social Security dream. The average SSS pension is about 8,000 pesos a month. In 2026, a kilo of rice is heading towards 60 to 70. Can you live on 8,000 pesos? Most Filipinos answers, yes, my kids will take care of me. But here is the nuance. If your kids are spending 30,000 pesos a month to support you, they cannot save for their kids. This is how the cycle of poverty is passed down like a family heirloom. To break that cycle, you need the Pag-ibig MP2. It is a government-backed, tax-free investment that has historically given 6 to 7% dividends. If you put in 2,000 pesos a month starting at age 25, you could retire with millions without asking your children for a single centavo. What does it take to be in the top 10% of the Philippines? You don't need billions like the C or Villar families. As of 2026, a household net worth of approximately 5 to 8 million pesos puts you in the top 10%. This includes the value of your home, your land, and your savings, minus your debts. Why is this important? Because most Filipinos have a negative net worth. They own a 100K motorcycle but owe 120K on the loan. They have a 60,000 peso iPhone but owe it to their credit card. Wealth in the Philippines isn't about what you display. It's about what you can own outright. If you have zero debt and 100,000 pesos in the bank, you are technically wealthier than the guy driving a Fortuner he can't afford. Finally, number 1, the number of US dollar millionaires in the Philippines. There are currently over 40,000 individuals in the Philippines with a net worth exceeding 58 million pesos, and this number is growing by 10% every year. Who are these people? They aren't all politicians. They are the silent successes. They are the OFW who sent money back, not for luho, but to buy apartment doors in the province. They are the BPO manager who lived like a student for 5 years while maxing out their stock options. They are the tindahan owner who turned one stall into a wholesale warehouse. The hardest part of building wealth in the Philippines isn't the math. It's the discipline to say no to the culture of pabida. It's the strength to tell a relative, I love you, but I cannot fund your vacation because I am funding my retirement. We've covered a lot today, from the median income trap to the retirement crisis. But knowledge without action is just trivia. If you feel behind, remember this. The Philippine economy is one of the fastest growing in the world. There is more opportunity now through freelancing, digital assets, and high yield savings than there was for our parents. Your homework is simple. Don't look for the next hot stock. Open a digital bank account today to get that 5% interest. Open a Pag-ibig MP2 account. You can do it in 5 minutes. Track your family tax. Know exactly how much you are giving. In the last 20 years, the Philippines has undergone a banking revolution. Traditional banks like BDO or BPI used to be the only option, but they offer near zero interest. Today, digital banks like Uno, Maya, and Cbank are fighting for your deposits. By moving your emergency fund from a traditional bank to a digital one, you are effectively getting free money every month. For a 100,000 peso balance, a digital bank gives you 400 pesos to 500 pesos a month in interest, while a traditional bank gives you 8 pesos. That's the difference between a free meal and a piece of candy. We must also discuss the psychological side of money in the Philippines. Utang ng loob, or a sense of gratitude, is beautiful, but is often weaponized by toxic family members. To be wealthy in the Philippines, you must learn to set financial boundaries. Think of it like an airplane. You must put your own oxygen mask before helping others. If you go broke helping your family, eventually everyone is broke. If you stay financially strong, you can be the safety net for the whole family in a real crisis. We've covered a lot today, from the median income trap to the retirement crisis looming for most Filipinos. But as I always say, knowledge without action is just trivia. If you feel like you're behind, remember that the Philippine landscape is changing fast, and there are more tools now to help you get ahead than our parents ever had. Your homework is simple. Don't just look for the next big thing. Start by plugging the leaks in your own boat. If you want to see exactly where your money might be disappearing without you realizing it, I actually sat down and ranked the most common money traps that keep Filipinos from building real wealth. From the psychological drain of lifestyle inflation to the specific purchases that act as financial sabotage. You need to know what to avoid while you're building that peace of mind fund. Click right here to watch my Ranking the Worst Financial Purchases tier list video next. It'll help you audit your spending so you can keep more of that hard earned income in your pocket. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed this video, and please subscribe to see more topics like this. I'll see you on the next one.